Thank you for waking up with Happy Ass, where we come together to grow in mind, body, and spirit, so we can in turn go out and make the world a brighter and sweeter place to live for ourselves and for others. Well, I've got news for you. This is going to be a I've got a lot of things stirring in my heart and my mind right now. This is actually going to be our last daily My Happy Ass Life. I've been thinking about it for a long time. And with the counsel of people much wiser than me, which is a lot of people, but people I trust and I love, I've decided to turn this into a monthly podcast. Rewind. Into a weekly podcast instead of a daily podcast. I don't know how many of you know this, but I've been doing this over 4 years, Monday through Friday, except on the days I'm traveling sometimes, and I get people like my precious Angie Thompson, Lacey, bless her heart, Phillips Maxwell, Jody Morgan, my sweet daughter, my son Sheldon. All of you have been so kind as to step in for me. But it was important to me that once I started that I was here every single day. Thank you for Candy Evett Miles, who helped me get started, who told me to do this, and I did it. She said, hey, you should do your affirmations for everybody. You shouldn't keep them to yourself. And then, of course, I've got wonderful Jessica, who helps me, Jessica Ayers, and Ashley Feller. And we're going to meet together and decide how we're going to do this. But this is the deal. I kept talking to my fitness coach, Jennifer Berg, and we kept looking at my life and dissecting my life. And y'all, I kept trying to fit a 10-gallon bucket into a 1-gallon bucket. And you 1-gallon bucket, but you can't do it. You can't. I don't care how optimistic you are, you just can't do it. So, but I want to tell you some of the reasons why I'm here and the reason why this is so important to me. And obviously it's not about money. Never made a dime on this. In fact, it costs me money every single month because I pay people to put it on Apple Music, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. I pay people to help me with my Instagram, all those things because I have so many other responsibilities. But I just feel led to make this a weekly thing instead of a daily thing. It will clear up my time and space. It will give me time when I get the kids to school. I'm always rushing back here to be able to do this. I have to get up I get up at 4 a.m. and I want to do more of what God wants me to do. I want to heed the call of what I was put here to do. So let me tell you a little bit about that real quick. So when I was a little girl, my father was an alcoholic. They always say that the things that break your heart should be the things that move you to do what you do with your life. The things that break your heart should motivate you to do something for others. And that's how I feel. So when I was about, I think I was 10 or 11 and 12. So it must have been 11 or 12 because my father had already stopped drinking. So he had stopped drinking. I'll never forget it. I told you that I packed his bags one day, had them all packed, put them in the den. I said, we cannot live like this anymore. We cannot live this way anymore. And he left. He got recovery, and he remained sober for 18 years. Sad news is he died a horrible alcoholic death because he forgot who he was and what he was doing and didn't continue to do it. That can happen to all of us. It's a painful story. But when my dad was newly sober, he spent a lot of time helping other people. I mean, people would call us in the middle of the night, and he would pull his pants on over his pajamas and go help somebody in the middle of the night. And it was just, I watched recovery in action. I watched people be selfless and help another human being for nothing more than knowing that it's what we're put here to do. That's what God put us here to do, to help ourselves become better and then turn around and help someone else become better. So he had a man named Woodrow Wilson that was kind of fun. No, Woodrow Spigner, not Woodrow Wilson, Woodrow Spigner, and he was dying of cancer. And I remember going with my dad to visit Woodrow Spigner. He was my dad's sponsor at the time. And I don't know why, but I picked up this book, and it was called The Majesty of Calmness, The Majesty of Calmness. And it's so weird how I remember this statement after all these years. I had to be, like I said, 11 or 12. And in that book, it said something about one day you will have happiness. And not because you seek to absorb it, but because you seek to radiate it. And happiness will come to you in its greatest and highest form. And that impacted me. I thought, wait a minute. So we get our happiness in life by radiating it out to others. Not by absorbing it, but by radiating it out. And I thought, I can do that. I can do that. So from a little girl, I wanted to be the person who helped people become happier. I was happy, even though my life had been impacted by this alcoholism, this drug addiction, and all these things. And throughout my life, I'm 65 now, and my life has been so impacted by drug addiction, alcoholism, just all manner of addictions, and it breaks my heart. So I want to help families who have that. That's one of my things. Another thing that breaks my heart, and I'm seeing it unfold right now, and I hope that I will impact others by saying this. Y'all, if we want to teach our children to be kind and loving and generous, we cannot go on social media and make fun of people who are different than us. We cannot laugh at people who are different than us. We cannot ridicule a political party. I don't care if you hate Trump, love Trump. I don't care if you hate Biden, love Biden, Kamala, all those things. It does not matter. We are setting an example for our children when we get on social media and we make fun of someone who has a different ideology of us. We make fun of or ridicule people who love different than we do, or a different religion than we are. What are we doing? Breaks my heart. So I hope that in my message that I can impact people to know that we are to be of love and kindness and tolerance and grace. God's grace. I believe with all my heart, the grace that I measure out to you is the grace that's going to be measured back to me. And I tell you what, y'all, I am in so much need of grace. I fail miserably all the time. You know, like Paul says, why do I do what I don't want to do? And why do I not do what I want to do? We all are impacted by that. Every single one of us. Not one of us is so mighty and so holy that we can stand in judgment of our fellow man. I don't care how bad they've been. Y'all, got this guy who has robbed me blind and has just done so many bad things right now. And I'm praying for him daily that somehow in his heart, he will just stop living the lie and the secrets and come out. Not because it's going to help me, but because I know that our secrets make us sick. So that's another thing that breaks my heart. I want people to know that you are loved. Don't hold on to your secrets. Don't hold on to them. Share with another human being. And you know, if people are vulnerable enough to share with us, then let's be kind and gracious. Let's just be courageous enough to love them right where they are. Because y'all, not a one of us is going to get through this life unscathed and not without a spot or a wrinkle. Not going to happen. I was in Sunday school this week, and they asked a question in Sunday school. They said, are you a person who thinks about you? He said, what scale are you on? Are you number 1? You're a person who never thinks about the end times. That didn't even cross your mind. It's not something you think about. Number 2, you think about a little bit, but you're mostly in the here and now. Number 3, you are really set on the end times and you're just seeing around and you're so prepared for it. Well, I was so happy to see I wasn't the only one that raised my hand as the number 1. I never think about that. Let me tell you what I think about. Let me tell you what I think about on a daily basis, and I don't always get it right, y'all, but to me, this is the thing that breaks my heart that I want people to get. If I want to really do what God wants me to do, there's only 2 things I have to do. 2 things. It's not a big list. It's not this big book of do nots and shall nots and went forth and how forth and thine, blah, blah, blah. It is 2 things. It is love for God, your God, with all your mind, soul, and body, and love your neighbor as yourself. So what that says to me, there's something bigger than me, way bigger than me, who loves me and loves you. And it also says to me that I need to love my neighbor as myself. And if I need to do that, I got to love me first. I've got to love me. I've got to love me, the flawed me, the imperfect me, all the parts of me, so I can love all the parts of you. What else do I want to tell you today? Well, we're going to keep on doing this, but it's just going to be on a weekly basis. I'm going to take a month off, about 4 to 6 weeks off, to get everything figured out, to get all my equipment together, to get the things. I know who I'm going to have on as guest. I will have guests. It will be me sometimes talking. So if you know of some topics you want to hear about, please let me know. Let me know the things you love, the things you don't love. We're going to continue to study mind, body, spirit. Those are the 3 things, y'all. They're the 3 things. And I remember when my father passed away from alcoholism, and I made the decision to pull that plug. I had to make the decision. My brothers were both active alcoholics at the time. And he was divorced from my mother, who, by the way, was so kind and gracious and loving and amazingly beautiful in all that. I remember when I did that, I thought, this is such a waste of life, that he really died before he died. He died so much earlier, and I don't want to do that. I want to live every single moment of this life. I want to give as much as I can give. I want to learn as much as I can learn. I want to take the lessons I've learned and share them with you. I want to be honest about the things I get wrong, so hopefully someone wiser than me can teach me to get them right. Not so I can be right, but so I can love you more fully and give grace more fully in this world that so needs that. My mission is still the same, is to make life brighter and sweeter for everyone I come in contact with. That's the person on the street. That's the person that's unkind. That's the people I don't know. It's everybody. It's everybody. I want to smile while I'm going down the road, while I'm driving my car, while I'm stuck in traffic, while I'm pumping my gas, because I'm alive and I'm breathing. And when I am, I have a chance to give to this world that's given me so much. So much. So y'all, I don't know what else to say other than I've loved y'all these 4.5 years on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. And we'll keep on doing it, but we'll do it on a weekly basis. So I'm going to say peace out. I look forward to seeing y'all on the flip side, and I will see y'all on my Instagram. I'll see you on Spotify and all those places, and I'll let you know when our first broadcast comes out, probably in September-ish sometime, but I will be keeping you updated on Instagram, on my Happy Ass Life. I also have my Happy Ass Life page. Stay tuned. Be sweet, y'all. Bye.